Welcome back to 5 Acres Honey Farm. I'm Tara Lynn and I'm at 5 Acres Honey Farm West this week. This is the first full week of fall, and my apiary, we are located west of Bryson City, North Carolina. So a lot of folks kind of joke that they think the state ends in Asheville, but we're about an hour and a half west of Asheville, and there is still more of the state, not too much more of the state, further west of us. But I'm out here, and if you've been following for a while, you're aware that I have a really bad problem with small hive beetles in my hives out here. So my hives are right over here next to the sheds. We've got a hard line electric fence on there for protecting from bear. And I just went through one hive yesterday, which is the one that has the really bad problem, and it's worse than it was last year. So I killed as many as I could, and I put those Freeman beetle traps back on the hive. So I have a separate video about using those traps, and I was not impressed with them. And then someone had commented and shared that, you know, you're supposed to keep those traps on the hive and use them a few times. I had just put them on, done the treatment, and then removed them. So instead, what I did, since we're here for the week, I'm going to be going out there every day as far as weather allows, and it looks like weather will allow, and I'm going to manually kill as many as I can. There was yesterday in the bad hive, there was one frame. It seemed like every single cell had a beetle in it, and there wasn't really much else left on the frame, just beetles. So I just walked it over here, and I have a separate freezer downstairs that I use just for my hive equipment, and I just put that in the freezer for the night, and I gave it back to them today. And shaking that out, there were tons of beetles. So just like that small effort, it's that many more beetles they don't have to deal with going into fall. So I had done that. I put that Freeman beetle trap on. I did, you know, the sugar, the confectionery sugar on them, and the tray, again, not impressive. I'm not seeing a lot of beetles dropping into it, but I did another treatment of that today. Also went through the other hive today, and the other one has a horrible problem as well. It's not as bad, but they had an extra box, an extra medium on them that was fairly empty. So just to kind of help them have less space to patrol, I removed that, and that is in the freezer now. So I'll be able to shake that out and store it in the next day or two. So as far as what's happening this first week of fall, this morning, actually last night, we went out to Snowbird Lodge and had drinks on their patio and just hung out while the sun set. We're both on vacation this week, so it's a nice change rather than coming out here and working remotely and trying to squeeze everything in around that. So it's really nice to have the flexibility. And then this morning I went fishing on Needmore Road. If you've been in this area, it's kind of an interesting road that connects right where the Graham County and the Swain County line meet. There's a Cardinal coffee shop, and Needmore Road cuts across over to going into Franklin. And it's a really interesting road. There is a steel suspension bridge. I'll put a picture of that. Been really curious to try some fishing along the river there, because there's a bunch of spots you can just drive right up and hang out on the river, and did that for a very short time this morning. It seemed like it was a series of unfortunate circumstances, and I had a lure get stuck on a rock, and then I dropped my tackle box, and it was just like one thing after another, and I decided just to come home. So came home and worked on the hives, and now I'm going to hang out with Indiana, our pup, and I'm gonna bake him some treats. And my husband is off on a motorcycle ride right now, so when he gets back, I'm not really sure what we're gonna do. We're just trying to enjoy this first week of fall here in the mountains. We have some other stuff planned for the rest of the week, a little bit here and there, but otherwise it's just a really nice, quiet fall weekend, or fall week, I should say. My first tray of dog treats is done. I left roasted pumpkin in the freezer last time and mixed that with applesauce, peanut butter, and oats. Inspecting hives, and this little fluffy thing came by, and I am well aware that many caterpillars that are this fuzzy can sting you. I don't want to say they're venomous, but they definitely can irritate your skin, so I'm going to remove it with my hive tool. Not that. I was just about to close the shed door and I saw this amazing stick bug. I see them like once a year and they always surprise me. They're so fascinating. I'm not going to bother him, but I'm going to leave the shed open, so hopefully he'll go on his way. I don't want him to go in the shed, but we'll see. That nice little stick bug. We drove over to Sylva to have dinner at one of my favorite restaurants. This is one of their mocktails that has a turmeric honey in it. It's so good. And a moonshine tiramisu. This is Huckleberry Knob, which is the highest point. Oh, he's of course now, he's getting something. Get him. Go. Get him out of there. Hey. Indiana, come on. Come back over here. Oh, sorry. It's the highest bald in the region. It's 5,500 feet. 5494. So rad. I'll flip it around. So this is the view. Out here. It's a pretty simple hike from the parking lot. Not a lot of elevation gain. And it's quiet. With the pigs behind me, we are no longer in the mountains. I didn't get some video from a little day trip that I did while we were out there. I drove out to Cashiers, which is near Highlands, and I had also stopped in Highlands. I have been following a bakery on Instagram for a while. They're called the Backwoods Bakers, I believe. And I really wanted to try some of their goods. I had found some of their items at Yonder, which is a fantastic market in Franklin, North Carolina. I always see that they're posting they're at farmers markets in the middle of the week, but I'm never available in the middle of the week. Since I was on vacation, I decided to take the trek out there. So it's about an hour and a half, close to 2-hour drive from the cabin, but there's little places to stop on the way. So I stopped in Franklin at Yonder and got some treats there. And then I stopped in Highlands, and unfortunately, that's like my third or fourth time in Highlands. There wasn't really like there were some shops open, but I couldn't find a good lunch spot. There was a restaurant I really, really wanted to try. They said they were open online, but they were closed when I got there. So I ended up getting out to Cashiers. I went to the market, got the good baked items, which were fantastic. And I stopped at a restaurant in Cashiers, and I typically don't like to post bad reviews or anything, but it was a horrible restaurant. So if you're curious what it is, comment and I'll message you and tell you, but it was really bad and really disappointing after having, driven a while, and I was pretty hungry and just wanted to have a good meal while away. But yeah, I got back, and then we ended up stopping. I'll go inside and show you in a moment, in Black Mountain, North Carolina on the way, and I met up with a local farmer there to get some eggs. These are the eggs that I picked up, and they are from Sadie Girl Farm out there in the Black Mountain area near Asheville. And these are Celadon quail eggs. So I have been raising Kertunix quail and Celadon quail for, it'll be 3 years this month. And I have a pretty popular video about an unfortunate incident from last summer while our pet sitter was on vacation. And I lost a lot of chicks that were the descendants of my Celadon quail. And I don't have any pure blue egg layers anymore. So I want to reintroduce that to the flock. And that's what I'm doing here. So this is my last hatch of the year. There's a little over a dozen eggs, I think maybe 15 or so in here. And they will be hatching in about 2 weeks. And about 2 weeks after that, they'll go outside And this winter they will spend the entire season out in the high tunnel. And yeah, so it's kind of like a nice end to our week off, is getting back in the swing of things. I've got the incubator set up and getting a lot of stuff in the dehydrator and making soups and breads and just getting into the swing of fall right now. So thanks for spending some time here and learning a little bit about our little corner of North Carolina here and there.